When was the last time you were really passionate about something? Or maybe you found that you weren't interested in it that much at first, but then you started looking more into the subject as a whole, and you found yourself becoming a little bit more passionate about the idea itself or the plot. Well, in the past, I can say that this holds true for me about one subject in particular, and that's virtual reality. You know, in 1999, The Matrix came out, and I gotta be honest, I watched it about 50 times before I watched any of the movies. And you know, also at the time, technology as a whole just wasn't there to make anything like that any kind of a reality at all. It just was impossible at the time. You know, and then years later, in 2012, about a decade, 12 years later, there was an anime that released by the name of Sword Art Online. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. You know, I've never been huge into anime, even though I'm a huge gamer. I do like anime and I enjoy it, but I've never watched one that quite took a grasp on me the way Sword Art Online did. Maybe it was the characters, maybe it was the plot point, to be honest. Maybe it was just a mixture of everything all together. But what it did do is it got me thinking about a fully immersive VR realm and what it would be like if you came home at the end of the day, you sat back in your chair and you plugged yourself in, or however you did it, put a headset on, and what it would actually be like. Over the years, there have been quite a few other projects, but today in 2021 we find ourselves at the beginning of something called Earth 2, don't we? Now, just so you guys know, I'm not changing my position on Earth 2, and to be frank for a couple minutes, I've received some really nasty comments and had some people saying some just downright nasty things to me, honestly. But thank goodness my name isn't Frank. Today, you're going to be going on an adventure with Roger, and we're going to be talking about the difference between Earth 2 and another company that I've been vested in for quite a long time, and that's MindArk. Before we get started on just what MindArk is and how it is in relation to Earth 2, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up for the video. I'd really appreciate it. As always, I know you're going to leave me a comment, and I'm looking forward to reading them. And as many of you know, I almost respond to every single comment that you guys send me, and I really appreciate them as well. Alright guys, so MindArk. You will come to find MindArk as a company that is responsible for a game called Entropia Universe. But first, I just want to visit their website here and give you guys a little bit of a representation on who they are by reading a couple of paragraphs. Then we will delve into the game itself, and I will show you why I like MindArk, why I like Entropia Universe, and the concept behind it. Alright guys, MindArk is a Swedish company. It says, engineering tradition of breaking new frontiers. MindArk's headquarters is located in Gothenburg on the west coast of Sweden. Here the Swedish tradition of excellence in engineering and global trade has been a cornerstone of everyday life for more than a century. Alright, I'm going to drop down a couple paragraphs here and go to MindArk. Was founded with this engineering and entrepreneurial spirit in the late 1990s and has been developing its groundbreaking game technology and business model ever since. As a result, thousands of people around the globe meet, interact, and entertain themselves every day within MindArk's core product, Entropia Universe. Then what is Entropia Universe? Entropia Universe really extends the concept of virtual reality. Entropia could be said to be a universe platform for virtual worlds where development partners, planet partners, leverage the platform to develop the market unique virtual worlds or planets. Each individual planet can have its own theme or lore, but all planets share the same cutting-edge 3D environment with an unified real cash economy. This real cash economy is what sets Entropia Universe apart from other virtual worlds and online game. While it is always free to participate and there are activities that any participant can profit from without any investment, the virtual universe of Entropia also presents real business opportunities on a more advanced level. By investing in one's personal avatar and building up skills in a rich set of professions and trades, it is possible to use more powerful tools and engage in potentially more profitable activities. Inside Entropia, resources, tools, and other items all have a guaranteed base value. In addition to the base value, The free market can set a higher value based on supply and demand. Avatars may, for example, specialize in trading resources they deem will soon be in high demand and possibly gain a profit from a rising market prices. The economy within Entropia Universe is highly specialized and complex, and thus offers endless possibilities for participants with sharp market instincts and entrepreneurial spirit. Alright, I'm going to stop right there, guys. To be honest, my reading kind of sucks today, so I don't want you guys to have to endure any more of that than possible. Alright guys, while we wait for Entropia Universe to get loaded up here, there's two things I want you to consider real quick. Number one is supply and demand. If Earth 2 actually has Phase 2 accomplished, and they come out with the resources, how are those resources going to retain their value? And number two, I want you to think about what else in the game is going to be monetized within the game that they have planned or that they are planning to make. Alright, friends and fellow gamers, now that you've had to endure me reading that for a while now, Entropia Universe into a nutshell, I think it's the closest representation to what we can find to what individuals want Earth 2 to actually be. Over the years, Entropia Universe has lost quite a bit of its player base, but it's still hanging on. It has a real cash economy where individuals can buy currency called Project Entropia dollars, transfer that into the game from buying it on their website. They also have a free-to-play model, which you can find information about, and I'll put a video link in the description that I made many years ago talking about how Entropia Universe has a free-to-play model and how players can go about using it. One of the reasons why I think Entropia Universe is a lot like Earth 2 is because inside Entropia Universe they have something called land deeds, and land deeds are purchasable once in a while through MindArk on their website whenever they come out with a new area, so to speak, like an expansion that you would have in other games. They'll release land deeds to cover a certain portion of their algorithm that they have developed over the years. And those land deeds will give you a percentage return over time based on how long you have them and how well that particular area is being influenced by the economy. For instance, if you buy a land deed in Entropia Universe over a period about 14 or 15 years, somewhere in there, the land deed will actually pay for itself because of the percentage return that it keeps accumulating over the years and years that you have it. Now I'm going to show you a little bit more about that and why it's so interesting to me. But first, let's jump into Entropia Universe here real quick so I can show you kind of what it looks like. I'm in a section of the game on the map called Port Atlantis. This is one of the main cities in the game. And as you can see, there's not a lot of people around right now. Not only has the game suffered quite a bit of a player loss over the years, but I'm also in a time zone where there's just not a lot of people on, to be honest. As you can see, this is a fully virtual world. And Entropia Universe doesn't just make up one planet or one moon or anything like that. Entropia Universe is a bunch of developed planets, moons, underground areas, space stations. It's just, they have a space area as well that you can fly around in. And all of it has been developed over time and over the years and introduced gradually. Now there have been people that have spent millions of dollars purchasing their own planet or their own moon or space station and turning it into their own virtual hub, so to speak, and trying to form their own community based on what their perception of this Entropia Universe should be. As you can see, the graphics, I know it's a little bit dark out right now, but the graphics in the game are very, very good based on the fact that the game came out 2003 and has been upgraded here and there since. They have things like malls right here where individuals can buy their own stores and set up their own stores and sell items in the game for certain amounts of money. You can see here that there's potions and other things and welding wires and things on the wall and trophies and signs and are known as shopkeepers that you can talk to and interact with and buy things off of the shopkeeper, so players don't have to be logged in all the time to sell their goods to people. Every single one of these stalls in this mall right here was sold for a certain amount of real life money, and some of them might not be that expensive, but some of them might be tens of thousands of dollars or less, maybe more, depending on what area of the game that you find yourself in. There's a spaceship landing on the roof of the mall right now. Let's take the televator up, shall we? So, as you can see, we're now on the top level of that building that we just ran up to, and we have a nice view of the territory from up here. It's really quite a shame that it's nighttime right now, because this area is just insanely beautiful, but the starry night sky isn't bad either, is it? Also, guys, as you can see here, there are banks and all kinds of different buildings involved in the Entropia universe. And they also have a teleportation device that will let you pick from different teleportation devices all over the planet that you're currently on, letting you travel from one place to another very easily. Alright, right here we're at a specific place on planet Calypso that's called Boreas. And a lot of people like to sweat here at Boreas, and sweating is basically the free-to-play model of Entropia Universe. If you want to know more about sweating, I made a video a long time ago you could check out. I will also leave a video in the description about that. I don't want to get into that today, unfortunately. But what I do want to show you real quick, let me open up my inventory. Okay, this little thing in my inventory right here, this little card that has the letter E on it, is called your PED card. Now remember, PED stands for Project Entropia Dollars, and the amount of PED that you have on your character is held on this card. Now, based on transactions on MindArk's website, you can pay real money to get PED deposited into the game. $10 of US currency will get you 95 PED on the Entropia Universe website. So that's one way that MindArk makes its own money. They take a very small percentage of every transaction. So if you spend $10, you get 95 PED. If you spend $30, you get not 300 but 285 PED. And $60 will get you 570 PED, not 600. Also, they have other things in the game like ammo packs that you can buy instead of crafting them yourself inside the game. So you can go spend $10 and go for a nice little hunting trip with your friends. They have revive packs, which will let you revive instead of respawning, revive exactly where your body died, kind of like a resurrection scroll, so to speak. And then of course they also have strong boxes that you can purchase that have a chance to drop some really nice things in the game, and that is kind of their whole, you know, who doesn't know about loot boxes in 2021? Am I right? That's about all I need to say about that, guys. Am I right? I mean, loot boxes are loot boxes. They do have a chance to drop some really unique and cool items, but the chances are very extremely low that they'll drop one of these specialized rings that you can use in Entropia Universe. And the rings give you really good stats, to be honest. Sort of a pay-to-win model, but trust me when I say that the way Entropia Universe is set up, there's really no winning. It's just an ever-going thing where you'll have to continually put your money into it to advance, unless you want it to take 100 years of your actual life. The way I look at Entropia Universe is like when my parents used to take me to the arcade in the mall growing up. If you can just spend $15 here and there and enjoy yourself, maybe the $15 is worth it. But if you log in and every time you log in you spend a couple $100 or a couple $1,000, at what point do you look at it and say, can I actually afford this type situation? And then they have starter packs and whatnot, and to be honest with you, Entropia Universe is such a unique and in-depth game that it's hard to explain this right off the bat. So I would advise that if you are going to get into it, or if this is something you're interested in, that you do a lot of research on it, because this game was not going to hold your hand, and there's really no tutorial, even though there is a type of mentoring system, and I don't want to get into that today. Instead, I'd rather just go back into the game and talk a little bit more about the PED card and some of the things that you can do with the land plot. So as you can see here, I have 46 of these land plots from Arcadia Underground and 12 from Arcadia Moon. Now each one of these puts off a different amount of percentage interest over time, so to speak, and I'm going to show that to you now. Because I have 58 total of these deeds, I can go over here to my PED card and right click on it and go to PED Flow Center. Alright guys, so here we have the PED Flow Center. Over the years that I've been playing Entropia Universe on and off here and there over the past decade or so, you're going to notice that here we have the date, and today is 6/1 of 2021. I have a balance in my PED Flow Center of 1 PED. And the reason I only have 1 PED in there is because I just did a transfer out of it on accident by hitting this transfer button right down here. Now at one time I did have around 400 or 600 PED saved up in here, and I took it out and bought myself some more land deeds with it. At this point I'm not really interested in cashing out my project and use Entropia dollars to get my cash back into real life or anything like that, because I don't really have that much invested into the game. I'm guessing a few $100s at the most over the years. What you can see by this is that if we go right over here, when I went down to 0 balance, because I withdrew this 95 PED, which would be $9.50 in real life, it starting to accumulate again over time. So I got 0.12 PED on the 31st, and another 0.46 PED on the 31st. And then on the 1st, which is today, I got another 0.46 PED, which took me up to 1 PED total. So as you can see here, back in January 14th of 2021, I did a transfer of 780 PED that had been accumulated over time into my PED Flow Center here, and I took it down to 0. January 14th of 2021, I started regaining my PED over again. So it went, there's 1 PED, 3 PED total. I'm up to 5 PED on January 20th. And then on February 1st, I had 15 PED. And then if we go to March, I had 40 PED. And it just kept going, 50, 60 PED, 70 PED, all the way up until my recent withdrawal, which is in May 30th. I had 95 PED that had accumulated over time. Now 95 PED, like I said, is worth $9.50. You can withdraw PED into real money in real life, and this is why I think Entropia Universe is a lot like what Earth 2 platform is trying to accomplish. You actually buy land deeds in this game, and in Earth 2 you buy land tiles. The only difference between Entropia Universe and Earth 2 is that Entropia Universe has over the years has developed a withdrawal system that is actually pretty functional. You still have to use a bank account and stuff like that to withdraw your project Entropia dollars into the type of currency that you use in your country. And there are certain fees that are involved that MindArk has in place that I don't really appreciate, but I will let you guys look into that whole situation on your own. Like I said, MindArk and Entropia Universe, although it wasn't called Entropia Universe that long ago, has developed into what it is today. And if I was to sell every single item I had in Entropia Universe and try to cash out into real, well, for me it would be USD, I would probably get around, $400 or $500, something like that. If that was. And in order for me to be able to do that, I would have to sell everything I have on my character, my spaceships, everything I own to other players via the marketplace, which I can show to you real quick, the auctioneer. And it's just like a standard marketplace or auctioneer system that you would see in most MMORPGs. Only it's pretty in-depth. The only other game that's more in-depth than the Entropia Universe auctioneer or marketplace would probably be EVE Online. But here you can buy pretty much anything you can find in the world, as well as the land deeds. And you can see here that they're just right on the first page, there's a bunch of Arcadia moon deeds for sale, and you can set it according to the buyout price, or if there is a bid on it, you can see the actual markup of the land deeds themselves. And the markup isn't the land and how much it's evaluated for. The markup is how much the seller is marking up the item itself. And then you can see the current bid and the quantity that that seller is trying to sell. And as you can see here, there's just pages of them. There's some of the land deeds that people are asking 87 ped for, which would be $8.70 in real life. And there's some that people are asking for 3,300 ped, which would be $334 in real life. Investing in these land deeds is not something you're going to see a huge return investment on the next day. It's something that you're going to see a return investment on in about a decade of your own real life. And some people have done that. I'm going to go ahead and jump in my spaceship here. We'll take it for a little fly around here real quick. So like I said, the reason I wanted to show you Entropia Universe and kind of compare it to Earth 2 is because the developers of Earth 2, according to their website, because I haven't actually talked to any of their developers, are wanting this to be a virtual reality world where people can build their own buildings, and it's a one-for-one size of the planet Earth. And I've gone into this a little bit more in some of my other videos about Earth 2, and I know that there's 100, 200, maybe 1,000 other videos out there about Earth 2, and people have a lot of emotions, one way or the other, about Earth 2 and what it's going to become in the future. And that's the big parentheses and the big question mark, isn't it? What is Earth 2 going to become? Because right now it's basically a map developed by Mapbox, isn't it, guys? With a grid laid over it. It has a really good company that's going to be doing its customer support. I've delved into not all of the development team, but I have delved in a little bit onto the lead game developer and the lead game designer. I have another video that I'll post in the description about that if you're wanting to look into that a little bit. I have an idea for my next video and what I want it to be in regards to Earth 2, and you'll probably see that coming out here in about a week. I just want to end this video with a note to all of you Earth 2 supporters and all of you out there who say that Earth 2 is a huge scam. Virtual reality, whether it's the type of virtual reality from the Matrix where you sit down into a chair and you plug a gigantic cable into the back of your spinal column, or whether it's just a nice comfy headset that comes down over your eyes, is sooner or later going to happen. And it's going to happen on a scale in which it is more and more impressive over time. Now the question is Earth 2 going to be that platform? We do not know yet. That's the bottom line. To be honest with you, the more I research this and the more I look into it, the more I actually want the project to succeed. I am not saying go spend your money on this project by any means. I do feel for the individuals who have spent tens of thousands or maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on this, and I want them to get their money back, and I want this to succeed just for those people. Something down deep in my gut tells me that I am not going to be able to invest in this game until there are certain things that I see happen, just because my financial situation at the time doesn't allow me to spend money that recklessly. That being said, guys, I only have so much time for every video I put out. This one already is going to be at least 20 minutes long, so I'm going to need to wrap it up here pretty quick. I'm going to continue to make videos about Earth 2 the more it progresses, and any information that I think is pertinent. That being said, I want to say thank you so much to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. I really love the comments that you guys leave me, especially the kind ones. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider hitting that thumbs up button and the subscribe bell with notification so you can see the next video that I come out with. That all being said, I really appreciate you guys being here. My name is Roger, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care of yourself, everyone.